Hello, what's going on, everyone? This is It's Plays here, and yeah, we're in Gen 4. And before you question the Bellsprout, um, well, this I should explain it. Currently, Carnivine for some reason is just non-existent for me right now. I don't know why. So I kind of just put a representation, I guess, a mimic of Carnivine away, I guess. It's the closest Pokemon that looks like. There. That's why he's not going to be on stage in the blurred out background in the video, which you could guess on that. But anyways, now here it is. Here's all the Pokemon for Gen 4, including every single form of Rotom and every single Wormadam form. Yeah, this is all the Pokemon we're going to be covering today. Not as many as Gen 3, which was like 47. This is probably closer to like 30 or something, including forms. And yeah, also that's supposed to be a quick ball, if you couldn't tell. But anyways, yeah, let's just get to it. Also, in terms of, when Gen 5's going to be started, I guess I'll start coding after I record this intro. Oh, and then I can edit the video, because I also still need to go grab the pictures I'm going to need for these guys and everything. Yeah, I'll see you all in the outro, and also I will probably record another Pokemon Relic video really soon, because by the time you're seeing this, I have probably edited and uploaded that, so yeah, keep that in mind as well. So then, let's just go to the outro. Okay, but past me meant to say was to future me talk about the Pokemon I changed. That's what I meant to say. So we're gonna start off in Dex order as per usual, starting with Kricketune and Kricketot. Well, reverse, I mean, Kricketot and Kricketune. Starting off, both of them are now Bug Normal type, which is actually a big change, because now they get like Stab, Slash, or some other moves like that. You know, they now get some Stab on those. Which I know Kricketot doesn't really have any normal moves except for Tackle, but now it has Stab, Tackle, I guess. Which is why, after looking at its move pool and only knowing 4 moves via level up, I changed that. So Kricketot got a massive move pool change. So for Kricketot, now at level 8 it learns Absorb, which most bug types for some reason learn sometimes. I don't know why. Like, some bug types just randomly get Absorb. Like Zubat, I know it's not a bug type, but they randomly got Absorb. Which makes sense, so moving on. At level 10, they learn Sing. At level 12, Echoed Voice. And at level 18, Round. Now, there's another big change, and that's that Kricketot now evolves into Kricketune at level 20. So that's also kind of a big change that I had to do, which is, again, to extend the move pool. I kind of wanted to extend the evolutionary level so you can get all the moves from the move pool, which will pair nicely with Kricketune's new stats, as well as some other moves that now gets later down the line, but we'll get to Kricketune's moves later. Starting off, Kricketune now has 78 HP, not 77, which I know, not a big change at all. It's only 1 extra point. But it also has 20 extra points in special attack, making it now 75 special attack. Kind of a mixed attacker, but also it's kind of a good thing that's now a mixed attacker, because of all the normal moves that are sound-based being special, it had to make some sense to fit his new normal typing, so there's that as well. So now, also covering Kricketune's new ability, I made Technician its normal ability and made Sharpness its hidden ability. Which I know seems strange, but at the same time, I feel like it makes some sense. Because like, Kricketune is so abysmally weak that if you want a physical Kricketune, having Sharpness would be a benefit, especially with Night Slash, X Scissor, and Slash as well. 2 of those being stab options. Don't see a reason why it wouldn't work. But now on to a moveset change. That being it can now relearn all of the new moves I gave the Kricketot via move reminder and stuff, but also, sorry for a deep breath there, at level 50 it gets Metal Sound, and at level 54 it gets Giga Drain, which is actually really useful, making Perish Song now level 58 in its move pool, with Giga Drain being before that at level 54 and Metal Sound being level 50 now, so the best way to go around that was to change that up. Now, another thing I did was, I'm pretty sure via Tutor it now gets Hyper Voice. Via Move Tutor, I think I did this change so it can have access to Hyper Voice without putting it in its move pool, since Perish Song makes more sense, but I felt like that way you can understand where I went with that. So yeah, Hyper Voice, now Move Tutor option. So, there's that. Now, let us move on. We are now on a Pokemon that a lot of people recommend be Dark type, despite the fact that it has nothing to do with darkness at all. It's literally called the Gleam Eyes Pokemon. It legit has a wall of light, not darkness. That being Luxray. Now, for Luxray, I may first start off with covering stats if I change those really quick. Okay, I did change his speed from 70 to now 89, which I know it seems strange. Which, yeah, it's a weird number, but honestly, I didn't want to make him too fast. Or maybe I meant to put 80. I'm not even sure at this point. This is a weird number. I'll probably put asterisks in this segment if I change it or not, because I don't know why. Like, maybe I meant to put 90. Also, why? Why would I put 89? Well, we'll get to that later. Maybe I meant to put a different number. Anyways. I'm pretty sure that is it regarding Luxray. Let me just double check move pool wise, or because I didn't see anything change in the abilities department, nor typing. Did I just make him faster? Is that it? And nothing regarding abilities. Yeah, okay, that was it for Luxray. Just increased his speed, because it's, for some reason, like, kind of slow, so making it faster made sense. Next up, Rampardos. Now, Rampardos did get an ability change, that being instead of Mold Breaker, and now it's Rockhead, so it can pair nicely with its signature move. But I also rearranged its stats. Not changed them, but rearranged them. So, it now has 58 special defense, 50 special attack, 65 defense, and 60 speed. I just rearranged the numbers. Nothing really changed regarding increasing or decreasing, it was just moving around some numbers. So now he's a tad faster, only by 2 points, a tad bit bulkier, only by 5 points, especially weaker by 15 points, and slightly better with special defense at 58 points, which paired with Sandstorm would make him actually decently tanky. Again, not the biggest change, but also really modest. Which now leads us to kind of a big one. Kind of a very, very big change. That being Wormadam. And I have to cover each individual form for them. Her. I guess. Because all of them have different stats, but also all of them have different... But also all of them don't change regarding abilities, which is kind of weird. Because I feel like the environment would also change how they adapt to that environment, so... With this in mind, in order for them to stand out more, I gave them more abilities. The options, instead of Anticipation and Overcoat. So let's go with that. Oh, starting with plant. Starting off with Lance Wormadam, plant form. I don't know why they gave it Razor Leaf, so since it's a special attacker, I don't understand why it has Razor Leaf, so I gave it Magical Leaf instead. That's just a change regarding plant form, because honestly I don't know why. I think that's actually the only, like, change in regards to a move pool thing regarding these guys, so yeah. However, its a new ability instead of Anticipation is Flower Veil, which I feel like could make Wormadam stand out a bit from the other Pokemon in Flower Veil, which is like the Florges line and like Comfey, which are fairy types. I mean, Burmy was a pure bug type, then gained flowers on its body when it evolved into plant form, Plant Cloak, so yeah, I feel like this made sense to me, honestly. And did I do anything in regards to stats? I just need to double check. Ooh, hold on. I think I did actually. So I boosted its special plant form, got a 20 extra points in special attack, making it 99, and 20 extra points in special defense, making it 125. So, again, 20 points in both its special attack and special defense for plant form. Now we're moving on to Sandy Cloak, which, did I do anything regarding move pool wise for Sandy Cloak, just so I can get that out of the way first? Okay, I gave it Sandstorm via, like, level 0 / relearn move, I think. Moving on to Sandy Cloak stats. Oh, and ability. So, the new ability for Sandy Cloak instead of Anticipation is Sand Force, which makes a lot of sense in the long run. As well as the fact that now Sandy Cloak has new stats with 99 attack and 125 defense. So, not the... similar to Plant Cloak, it is more bulky physically and also has some physical attack boost. Which leaves us with Trash Cloak. Now, Trash Cloak, to its new ability, Heat Proof, which I know what you're thinking is kind of broken, but also, like, Wormadam's not ever going to be used, so I might as well give it something. I think to make it stand out from the other Bug Steel types, being Scizor and Fortress, and maybe, and I guess Mega Golisopod now, but there's not really any others that come to mind. And the reason why I made Trash Cloak have a Heat Proof is because of the idea that it's using trash, which some of the stuff may not be burnable. Oh, well, okay, all trash is burnable, let me be honest. It can be caught on fire, but perhaps in order to prevent that, because it knew it would be twice as effective if to burn it, they decide to, like, soak it in something, because there are, like, some things that get thrown away that are still drenched in water or another liquid of some kind, which makes it damp a little, so it sticks together easier. So perhaps that, I'm not sure. I'm not thinking like throwing away water bottles, perhaps like soaking into the stuff. You get the point where I'm going with this. And then in terms of stat boost, it got 20 points in 20 points, right? Yeah, 20 points in both of its defensive stats, making them both 115. 115. I don't know why I keep saying 1 and then number. It's 115. So yeah, again, Heat Proof's kind of a bit of a weird ability to give to something like this, but also I can also see it making some sense, and you consider that some trash is not only plastic, some's metal, some can be burnt easily, some can be drenched in a liquid of some kind, whether it be juice from thrown away corn or a water bottle that had a little bit of moisture in it, so maybe there's something in there, I'm not sure. I know, again, weird, but we're moving on to the counterpart to Wormadam, that being Mothim. Starting with abilities, it no longer has Swarm, it has Compound Eyes. We're starting with that because I don't know why. Swarm, like, here's the thing, Swarm is essentially like Blaze in the sense that, like, at a certain amount of HP, it boosts set attack, which in this case is all bug attacks, but for a Pokemon like Mothim, who can practically get one-shot by a simple rock throw, probably, it's not going to last long. So, to counter that, it now has 106 speed. Yeah, it's now faster. It has 40 extra points in specifically just speed. Now, I'm pretty sure I didn't do anything moveset-wise. I'm just checking. Actually, I think I gave it access to... one sec, let me go to... Okay, yeah. It now has access to Sleep Powder, which it learns alongside Poison Powder, so there's that, I guess. It has Sleep Powder now. So, that's good. Now, on to the next well-known bug type of this generation, Vespiquen. Now, in terms of abilities, I did nothing. However, in terms of stats, I boosted its defenses to 105, which is only a 3-point difference. I boosted both of its attacking stats to 95 instead of 80, so quite a bit stronger, not as fast. Again, it's only still at 40 speed. But I felt like that Vespiquen should be more offensive than... should be a little bit more offensive, even though it's very defensive in nature, or regarding its defense stats. So, there's that. Besides that, there is nothing else that really changed. So, it now has higher attacking stats, which is really good for it, actually. Now, onto the next Pokemon, the Pikachu clone, Pachirisu, World Champion. I honestly just boosted its... okay, yeah. Okay, there it is. I boosted its defense to 85, and I boosted its special attack to 65. So, I get that makes no sense why it has to be so defensive, but honestly, it was because it's its third best stat, so I feel like buffing it a little bit more, to be honest. And also giving it more of a special attack. You get the point. Special attack is its main attacking stat. I felt like I needed a boost. You get the point. And plus, its physical attack you don't really need, because you have Super Fang right there. So yeah. Next up, a Pokemon that I actually only recently added to this list. Cherrim. Now, Cherrim is an interesting case, because technically I buffed it, but I didn't buff it. Give me a sec to explain. So, Cherrim has two forms, Sunshine and Overcast. And this is all because of its ability Flower Gift, which allows him to transform, but also boosts your party's attack and special defense. Which is a weird combination. I don't know why they didn't just go with speed. Like, make it like Chlorophyll, like Chlorophyll, but for both party members, which would actually be broken, so I guess it's fine. And I also guess this is just good for, like, pairing up with, like, an Aggron or something. Not Aggron, something that resists fire. Like something that has, like, a fire immunity that's physical and needs some social defense boost. Let's just go with, like, Infernape or something. This is good to, like, pair it alongside Infernape in the Sun team. I don't know. So, the way I changed up Cherrim was to give his Overcast and Sunshine form different stat distributions. Now, the Sunshine form has the same stat distribution that it originally had. It did not change anything regarding Sunshine Cherrim's stat distribution. However, it did change Overcast Cherrim's stat distribution, where instead of 70 defense, it has 85 defense, it has 76 special attack, not 76, 78 special attack, sorry. It has 87 special defense and 70 speed. While as for Sunshine Cherrim, it reverts to its original stat distribution that Cherrim always had, which is 70 defense, 87 special attack, 78 special defense, and 85 speed. Making Overcast more defensive, but once the sun comes up, it's a fast special sweeper type of vibe. So now, Cherrim can stand out while also being similar to other Pokemon like Aegislash, which is essentially the same concept, where both forms just change stat spreads. It's like more attack, more defense, and stuff like that. So there you have it regarding Cherrim. I guess it's like kind of a weird addition, but also it just made sense to me. And now moving on to Gastrodon. I'm pretty sure all I did was boost its special attack. By how many points? Oh, that would be... I boosted its special attack to 102. And its defense... I boosted its HP and defense as well. So its HP is 121, making it a 10-point difference. And I boosted its defense to 73. And then, again, I boosted its special attack to 102. So, a little bit tankier, it's a little harder, not that big of a change. While as for Ambipom. Ambipom more or less just got a moveset change. And what I mean by that is that I added a couple moves, specifically 3. 2 of them to pair well with the Skill Link, and 1 of them because I felt like I needed it. So those moves in particular are Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, and Drain Punch. So yeah, Ambipom mostly just got moveset boost. Bullet Seed makes sense because I already learned Seed Bomb. Rock Blast makes sense since I already know Smackdown, and due to the fact that one of its animations in Pokepark for the Wii, Pokepark 1, where you fight Ambipom, it's using Fling, but it's just throwing rocks at you. So I always assumed that was Rock Blast. So there's that. And then Drain Punch is because I'm pretty sure I learned it previously, but they got rid of it, so I gave it back. So yeah, Ambipom got some new moves. Up next, Scorpy, which I did not change much except for ability. That being, giving its hidden ability, no longer making it Keen Eye, but instead Poison Touch. Because I don't understand how when you don't punch a Scorpion, you don't get accidentally stung by the stinger. Like genuinely, how is that not one of its abilities? It gets Keen Eye, which is, not don't be wrong, really good. It only prevents its accuracy from being lowered. That's it. Which again, really good for not being like smoke screened or why am I blanking on Sand Attack? That's what it was. Then as for Drapion, I also gave it the same thing, that being Poison Touch. But I also boosted its HP to 80, and that is it. I gave it 10 extra points of HP and also a new ability. So, again, this is going by a bit fast. Not gonna lie, it's going by a little fast, but let's continue on. With that being said, next is Toxicroak, which I'm pretty sure I made it more of a glass cannon with its stats, so let me just scroll down to them real quick. Okay, it has mostly the same stats, I just boosted its speed. So I gave it 95 speed, so now it's more of a sweeper. Now, next up is the Pokemon that you saw in the intro, kind of wasn't working. That being Carnivine, a Pokemon that genuinely just needs a buff. Same thing with Tropius. So, we're going to start off with stats first, so that way we can get that out of the way, and then we can move on to more complicated things. So starting with stats, it now has 90 HP. It now has 115 attack, 82 defense, 60 special attack, 82 special defense, and because it's floating, I picture it moving a bit faster than 46, so I made it 60. Now, in terms of abilities, I gave it a completely different change. Because, like, being immune to ground is good, but you already resist ground without levitate, so we're changing that. So now it has Chlorophyll, Arena Trap, and the hidden ability of Strong Jaw. And a car just passed by me. You mind I'm recording? It's gone now. So yeah, its hidden ability is now Strong Jaw. Its two new abilities are Chlorophyll and Arena Trap. Just wanting to reiterate. Which now leaves us to the biggest change, that being its move pool. Which changed a lot. Starting off, it now has Snap Trap at level 1, which is a good thing. Secondly, at level 17, I moved Sweet Scent back to level 14. At level 17, it learns Strength Sap. At level 24, it learns Poison Fang. Let's see. And then... Okay. At level 47, I taught it Ring Out. You know, the move. You know that move. Wait, why did I teach it that? Maybe it's because the... Oh, wait, maybe because, like, the tentacle things it floats with underneath, like, wrap around and stuff. That would make sense. And then, at level 56, it learned Gunk Shot. But that's not all. I also taught it Fire Fang, Ice Fang, Thunder Fang, and Poison and Psychic Fangs as a level up move. And the reason why I did this is because poisons can do various things. In this case, it's... Well, at first, I'm kidding. It just needed more moves to pair well with Strong Jaw. I'm being honest here. But that's probably why I gave him those. Maybe it's Ring Out that's spelled wrong. I looked at it. So yeah. A lot of changes for Carnivine. Most of them are very much inspired by Whoop. Whoops, the guy I talked about in like the first episode of the series, where again, most of these buffs and changes were based around those types of videos online of like people changing Pokemon. So if you see stuff you remember or from watching those people's videos, I'm just essentially making it a data pack for Pixelmon. But also adding my own stuff, like boosting speed. Eat by 10 points or something. On a random Pokemon. Now, next up is Lumineon, which, did I change anything in regards to abilities? Nope. Anything in regards to stats? Yes. Okay. So in regards to its stats, it now has 89 special attack and 101 speed. So, more or less, just a small boost and power. Not a lot, but still something. I don't know why it has equal attack and special attack, but it has a lot of special moves, so yeah. Did I also change typing? No. I might make it fairy type in the future, though. I will probably have to make a bonus, like, rework episode. On things, once I playtest all of this. Online. So let's immediately go here and talk about the newest change, which is its move pool. That being at level 65, it learns Tail Glow. Yes, I gave this thing access to Tail Glow because it's literally has neon in the name and can glow. Which is probably also why in Scarlet Violet they gave it access to Dazzling Gleam. I'm just being honest there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I gave it? Is that all I gave it? Just double checking very quick. Okay, and yeah, that's it. Okay. Next up, Rhyperior. It got the same buff as Rhydon, I just added to its special defense by a bit. It's now 65. That's it. It just has 65 now in regards to its special defense. That is it. Rhyperior is covered. So, next up is Gallade, which is a bit of a controversial buff. But we'll get to that later. Let's start off with stats before we go on to the kind of controversial buff. That being, it now has Has 75 defense, which is different from me buffing Gardevoir with giving it more speed, so more defense. And then for Mega Gallade, it now has 105 defense. So, again, it adds a little bit more defense. That's it. However, there is one more buff I did. And it also stems from one question. Have you ever had a Kirlia that was perfectly suited to be a Gallade, but sadly was a female, so it couldn't evolve into it? That's like perfectly suited. Like, best IVs, best nature, best everything in regards to becoming a Gallade. But it's female. And thus you cannot use it for anything. So you have to release it, throw it away. Even if it's a shiny, you can just keep it as a Kirlia, or you could give it to someone as a troll. Well, I need to do another thing, and that's compare Gallade to Frostlass. You see, because this change is very significant, because I'm allowing Gallade to be female. And the reason why is to prevent stuff like this from ever happening again. Trust me, there's probably been someone who was actually disappointed that they got like an adamant nature, perfect IV, Kirlia, but instead of it allowing it to become a Gallade, it'd be wasted on Gardevoir with a bottle cap and stuff. So then, let me compare it to Frostlass, which is completely different and not related into this video. So, the reason why Frostlass is different from Gallade, and why it's not getting the same treatment of becoming male, like, because I get Gallade and Frostlass are kind of like counterparts to each other's counterparts, which can be both gender. The reason why Gallade gets this treatment and not Frostlass is because with Frostlass, its attack stats are equal, and thus do not matter if it's adamant or modest. Whereas for Gallade, it has barely any good special attack, and Gardevoir barely has any good attack. Those two are different. Well, Frostlass and Glalie have like equal-ish stats. One's just faster and hits a little harder, or in exchange for defense, and one is just an all-rounder. So when getting a Snow Run, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be both Frostlass and Glalie, because both their attacking stats are roughly equal. However, Gallade and Gardevoir are very different because of their special attack, physical attack differences. So allowing Kirlia to become both without the need of being one specific gender would actually help. So technically this is a buff for Kirlia, but it's mainly a buff for Gallade. So, yes. I get it's a kind of a weird, controversial buff, just allowing Gallade to be female. If you want me to just do the same thing for Frostlass, allow them to be male or something, comment that below. I don't know. No, but in the end, this is a very controversial and kind of iffy buff. But at the same time, you have to understand that there is a specific circumstance as to why I buffed it. It's because if you get that perfect Kirlia that was like meant to be a Gallade but is stuck being a Gardevoir, now that's no longer an issue. It can evolve with a Dawnstone, be a female Gallade. I know it's, again, weird, but moving on. Moving on to the last Pokemon on our list. Rotom, and every single form it has. So, the thing is, every Rotom has the same ability, that being Levitate. However, they're now all getting hidden abilities, and that is important. So, we'll just go in order from normal Rotom to Heat to Wash to Frost to Fan to Mow. Starting off with base form, Rotom. I did not change anything regarding its stats. It now has the hidden ability of Lightning Rod, though. So that means if you get hit by Electric Attack, and now it's a boost in Special Attack, which actually would work wonders. Even though Levitate is a very good ability and makes every form of Rotom immune to ground, except for Fan, who is already immune to ground. This works as a good hidden ability for it, and I like it. I like the idea of just boosting it a bit. Next up is Heat Rotom. In that case, I gave it access to Flame Body, because if you pull something out of the oven, you will burn yourself. That's quite literally it. That is it. That's the whole reason why it's getting Flame Body. I mean, again, it benefits the most from Levitate out of all of them, but giving it Flame Body would actually work in the sense that it can also be really good for like hatching eggs and other stuff. And also burning an opponent with who uses like Headlong Rush or something on you. That seems very good. Or even you bait one out by having an air balloon, so when they attack you, they get burned in exchange for popping your air balloon. That's actually a really good strategy. Note that. Next up is Wash Rotom. And this is the point where I also bring up that from this point on, all of them are getting different stat distributions. Starting with Rotom Wash, who now has 60 attack, 100 defense, 110 special attack, 120 special defense, and 80 speed. So tad slower, tad less defensive physically, doesn't as hard physically, but does a lot better specially. And its new hidden ability is Storm Drain, because I felt like it was the only ability that could really work with it. Like, Rain Dish made no sense, Swift Swim was a bit broken and shouldn't make sense. This one's on the money, kind of good. It's a good ability. Before it, that's all I have to say. Next up is Rotom Frost, where it essentially is Rotom Wash, but swap the defense and special defense. So again, 60 attack, 120 defense, 110 special attack, 100 in special defense, 80 speed. And its hidden ability is Refrigerate, which actually benefits us a lot, because Rotom in Scarlet and Violet does learn Uproar, or via level up, as well as has the accessibility to learn Swift, which I guess a ice move that never misses. I guess it's not the best, but it's good. And it also has access to Hyper Voice, which again would be really good, since that way you can have more access to more ice moves instead of just Blizzard, which could miss. So now it has Refrigerate to give it more accurate ice moves. Next up is Rotom Fan. The one Rotom where, to be honest, it doesn't need Levitate, and yet it still gets it. And while it will keep Levitate, its new hidden ability is Wind Power, which, if you're hit with a flying move, boosts your next electric move. Now, this Rotom is vastly different, because it's more of a glass cannon. So it now has 87 defense and special defense, has 121 special attack and 110 speed. It is faster and hits a little harder. So there's that. Which then leads us to the final Rotom on the list, that being Mo Rotom. Now, Mo Rotom is a tad bit similar to Rotom Fan, but it's a little, it doesn't hit as hard, and it's a bit more defensive than it. So like, it has a similar stat distribution where it has more offense than defense and a little bit more speed, but its defense is like not even that big of a difference. So let's keep that. So let's talk about that first. So its defense is 97, and its special defense is the same at 97. Its special attack is 105, and its speed is 106. However, the hidden ability I chose for this is Motor Drive, since it's the only one with wheels. So I picture, give this thing a little extra juice, it would go flooring. That is it. That is the buff of a lifetime. Like, it's honestly, I get it makes no sense, but allowing you to absorb electric attacks to go a little faster as well as get the boost from grassy terrain now, because you no longer are levitating, is a really solid buff. And that, my friends, is every buff for Gen 4. Thank you all so much for listening, and again, back to previous me doing the outro. See you guys in Unova. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. And again, tell me if there's any other Pokemon I missed that you think I should fix up as well. Oh, like there's plenty of others I missed or skipped in previous generations. So again, comment some suggestions down below for any Pokemon I fixed or any other buffs to any existing Pokemon that you would recommend and that I already have covered. And again, sorry about Carnivine not being on stage, but at the same time, the devs can. Anyways, yeah. So I guess I'll see you all in Gen 5 really soon. I'll probably take some time to code it, and yeah. Thank you all.